Okay, so just when we thought this Phillips curve stuff was getting easy, let's take a look at the difference between the short run and the long run. Now, we'll talk about data, and if we look at data, let's just say, and we're going to make this up, so it may not actually match up this way if you went and looked at the information, but if we went and looked at 1990 to 2000, so roughly a 10-year period, and we just plotted the inflation rate and the unemployment in that period, what we would see are dots that look something along this line, right? It may not form a perfect line, but you can see that if you were to try to sketch a line that would fit, it would look something like that. That gets at that Lrpc relationship that we've talked about before. Okay, so what happened is some economists decided to take a look, and this was Edmund Phelps, and he was also assisted by some of the research from Milton Friedman. They were starting to hypothesize that you might not actually be able to reduce unemployment to zero. So what Phelps had done is looked at data from, say, 1900 to 1970. So he looked at a lot of data. And what he found in that case is that if you start looking at the different combinations of I and U, that in the long run, they don't really show a pattern, that there's really not a big relationship between inflation and unemployment in the long run. And while this may seem strange at first, it should kind of make sense, right? In the long run, we might have many different levels of inflation, but we can only have one level of unemployment in the long run, and that is the natural rate of unemployment. So this is what the long run Phillips curve looks like. In the long run, we will be at the natural rate of unemployment. However, we might have many different inflation rates or price levels associated with that. So while short run PPC is that downward sloping line that we see here, long run PPC is a perfectly straight line at the natural rate of unemployment.